We're happy to be back. I missed you guys last Friday and Monday. Had stuff going on with my neck that's much better because I've been patching with different patches that I didn't even know that I could use them for. We're going to talk about how to use the laws of mind. One really cool example. Hi, everybody. One amazing example I was listening to yesterday about the power of water. Since we're made up of 70-80% water, he was talking about the experiment of how they had a group of people speak negatively. Grand Rising fam. They had a group of people speak negatively to water. They froze the water. When they looked under a microscope, there was all these black type formations that were very unsightly. Then he poured water into a different glass, and he had the people speak or think. It's very important. They were thinking into the glass positive thoughts, loving thoughts. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I love you. All these things into a glass of water or a petri dish. They put the petri dish in the freezer. When it came out and they looked under a microscope, it was in the shape of beautiful, perfect snowflakes. Why is that important? Because our thoughts create. If our thoughts can create different crystal formations in water by thinking, I hate you, or just mean things, and it can shape really ugly things in water. Oh, that's where the origin of cheersing came from. It's like you're blessing the drink before it enters you. Thank you. I wouldn't even have put that together, and it makes total sense. When you say cheers, we're putting good energy into the water. So if our thoughts create different shapes in water, and we are, what is the percentage? I don't know, 73% or 80% or whatever. We're a very high percentage of water. So if our thoughts can create beautiful shapes or ugly structures in water, and we are constantly thinking undesirable things all day, or we're thinking of how I hate my life, or how I don't have the things that I need, or I'll never make enough money, I can't believe it's Christmas time, I have to spend so much money on presents, all these things, right, are coming from a state of lack. And if we're constantly thinking lack into our bodies of water, which is what we're made up of, then that's disrupting the harmony that's within us. That's disrupting the harmony that is here. When we come to Earth, this is neutral. It's in harmony with the rest of our body. Our programming is what causes the disharmony or disarray that is then creating our life. So if we know that if I think harmful thoughts into this water and I freeze it, it's going to make really ugly shapes. He said black. I don't know how that was under a microscope, somehow. Or if I think really beautiful thoughts into this water and then I drink it, let's just say, I'm blessing my body with good energy. But take the water away. The water within our body. How are we thinking every single day? That is forming structures in our body that are either in harmony with us or causing disharmony within us. Which leads me to my next thing. There's a lot of times God or the universe will be sending us messages of when to let go of something. And we're in this mode of attracting the things that we want to ourselves, right? But I want this, but I want this, but I want this. And the universe is constantly showing you all the reasons why you can't have this, you can't have this, you can't have this, because I have something better for you. But many times we don't want to let go of something because we're like, but I can have anything that I want. We're not getting the clear messages from the universe, and it's time to let go of this job. It's time to let go of this friend. It's time to let go of this relationship. Because I have something else for you. You gave me a list of the things that you want. You gave me a list of the amazing job that you want to attract to yourself. But you won't leave this space. I have friends here. But I've been here for so long. But it's comfortable. But I hate my life. But I'm not happy here. But I'm not making enough money. And the universe is like, but you told me that you want to make this amount of money. You told me that you want to feel this type of way. And you won't let go of this scenario or situation. So how can we attract what we want when we won't let go of the things that are actually making us miserable because we're comfortable or because we're scared? The art of manifestation is literally about letting go. And I've spoken to a couple of people this week about that. When we get into the art of manifesting, sometimes for many people it becomes an obsession and it becomes unhealthy and it becomes asking questions of, well, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I should, use this technique. Maybe I should do that technique. And we're constantly trying to switch our manifesting techniques because we're afraid that we're doing it wrong. All that says to the universe is that you don't trust. You don't trust that I have your back. So how can I give you anything if you don't trust that I have your back? Just because you want something so bad and it hasn't yet shown up in your reality doesn't mean that I'm not going to give it to you. It just means I'm still building this bridge to get you over to what you want. I haven't forgotten about you. This is just not the right moment because it takes X amount of time to build this bridge to get to where you want to go. But the more that we doubt our ability to manifest, the longer that bridge becomes. And the longer amount of time it takes you to get across that bridge. To get to your end state, your end desire. And I always say this for many people that have never heard this. If it's not your end goal or desire, it's not the end. And in the process of building the bridge to get you to the other side of where your pot of gold is, whatever it is that you desire, there are some really horrible things that might happen, and you might doubt because of those bad things that happen. But that doesn't mean that you're not getting it. It means that all these things had to unfold in order to get you there, as long as you still have that belief within yourself. Because if you are creating the belief that in your water, in your body of water, which is yourself, if you're creating the thoughts of, I'm so grateful for all the things that I have. I'm so happy that I now have this amazing, beautiful job. I'm so glad that the universe gave me the most amazing relationship, the most beautiful home to live in. I now live in a safe home. I'm so happy and grateful that I have a beautiful new car that safely gets me to point A and point B. Whatever it is that your manifestation is. We're programming the waters of our being to get us the things that we want. So if we're made up of water, and we're programming them in a disharmonious way, we're programming the outside world that is reflecting our inner world to also bring us disharmony. Please give me more things to complain about. If you wake up every day and you complain about things, the universe can only give you that, more things to complain about. It's just the way that it works. It's just the laws of the universe. I'm going to read a little bit from How to Use the Laws of Mind by my man, Joseph Murphy. You are here to solve problems. The reason you have problems and challenges is because you are here to discover your divinity and sharpen your mental and spiritual tools. Otherwise, you would never discover yourself. And there are too many people that are stuck in the politics of life, not even of life, of government, that are stuck in which religion is more superior than the other. I don't like this kind of person, and I don't like that kind of person. Did you see what this celebrity said? Worrying about all things that bring you outside of yourself. If you cannot sharpen your mental and spiritual tools, you will not ever discover yourself. And that's why we're here. We're not here to scroll on social media. We're not here to see what the newest TikToker said about this conspiracy theory or whatever. Thanks, Karen. Okay. Thank you, Mama. We're here to uncover things about ourselves. to look deep in our soul. Can you guys barely hear me? Hold on. Oh, can you hear me better now? Because I just put up the volume. Yes, can we hear me now? Sorry, Cicely. I had the volume all the way down. I didn't even know it. There are failures in life, yes. That's why you had an eraser at the end of your pencil when you went to school. Everybody knew that you were going to make mistakes. Through the mistakes, you learned how to add, subtract, as well as many other things. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. You must have a basis for thinking constructively. When you know that thoughts are things, and that what you feel you attract, and that what you imagine you become, then you begin to think constructively because you realize my thought is creative. Not because it is my thought, but because it's thought. That's what thoughts do. Good night in India. Thoughts create. Your thought is creative because it's creating the reality that you have. Nothing can give you peace but the triumph of principles. Quimby said that a child is like a little blank tablet. The uncles, aunts, clergymen, parents, and everyone comes along and scribbles something on it. So think about that. We are all a blank sheet of paper when we are born into this world. And how we become who we are now is a result of every person that's passed by in your life, that's gave their opinion, that's maybe taught you something, whether it was right or wrong, that causes us to think the way that we do, because it's programming our subconscious mind. So our subconscious mind can only think from that programming. If someone said to you when you were little, oh, look at your chubby legs. Something is simple, not simple, but it's just a sentence. That could carry you the rest of your life. That tells you that, like, you're not good enough, or you're not cute enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not handsome enough. One time someone can say that to you, and that could literally become a program within you for the rest of your life. That carries you, and you have this belief of, I'm not good enough, or whatever it is, I'm not enough. That could be your I amness for the rest of your life, is I'm not enough. Because one person, an aunt or uncle or whomever, told me that I had chubby legs or chubby cheeks or something like that. The child's mind is impressionable, malleable, and open to all the beliefs, opinions, creeds, dogmas, superstitions, ignorance, and fear of the parents. The child grows up in the image and likeness of the dominant mental, emotional, and spiritual climate of the home. Let's read that sentence again. The child grows up in the image and likeness of the dominant mental, emotional, and spiritual climate of the home. My dominant climate in my home was chaos, anger, rage, lack. I don't know what else, but there's a lot more things. How many people in here grew up in a very unstable home? If you did, that is your programming for the rest of your life, unless you change it. Which is why I've been doing the work for the last several years to shift and change my reality, because I don't want a reality where I live in lack. I don't want to live in a reality where I'm always fighting about not having enough money. My mother and father fought about not having enough money forever in front of us. Mom, I need money for this. Go ask your father. Oh, I don't have it right now. Go ask your mother. So I grew up with the mentality that money is hard to come by, money is hard to make. That was my programming. And I worked extremely hard to change that about myself. Again, the child grows up in the image and likeness of the dominant mental, emotional, and spiritual climate of the home. What was the spiritual, mental, emotional climate of your home? Passive aggressive with some alcoholism. It was not good, lots of fighting. So when we are exposed to this, we become it because there is no other programming here. It's like, again, when I talk about computers. If Wheel of Fortune is programmed in your computer and you want to play Monopoly, no matter how many times you try to type in Monopoly, it's not going to come up on your computer. It's not downloaded or uploaded there. Unless you upload the program of Monopoly, you're never playing it on your computer. The same thing with us. If we are programmed with anger and rage and emotional instability, emotional unavailability from our parents, if we're told that we're stupid, if we're told that we're not good enough, oh, you're dumb, you'll never know how to do this, you'll never be good enough, your brother's better than this, than you, that becomes your program. You can't live from anything else. You can't live from the program that I am wealthy, because it doesn't exist in your subconscious computer in here. It doesn't exist in your consciousness that you were given here, or what was impressed upon your consciousness while you were here. Until you change it. Until we change the programming. How do we program something? Through repetition. Your ABCs, how did you learn your ABCs? Through repetition. How did you learn how to ride a bike? Through repetition. Through falling down, getting up and getting back and pedaling again. We learn through repetition. So if you want to change the programming that you grew up with, that is literally the driver of the life that you have now, it is through repetition of the mind. That's all that it is literally brainwashing yourself into believing that you're good enough, into believing that you're wealthy, into believing that you can have anything that you want, into believing that you have a successful relationship or family or whatever it is that you want. I had great parents. I had so much love, yet my male siblings were rough on me. My parents were always saving me from them, but I still had emotional damage. Again, it's the people in your household. So you could have amazing and loving parents. So Mare, I could see that in you, because you're such a loving and caring and compassionate person. So you learned that programming from your parents. But then there is another side of you that is almost like victimized, and that is from your brothers. So Mary has beautiful programming from her loving parents. She's a loving, beautiful person, but she also has that programming from what her brothers did to her growing up. So do we see and understand like how that affects us? I love my mom, but she would say things like, I'm going to get fat. I do my best to never talk like that in front of my kids. Again, that's a program. Mommy, that is a program. So you're afraid, if I eat this, I'm going to get fat. I have that program. I've had an eating disorder my whole life. But my eating disorder was a result of several things. Chaos in my home. I had no control of anything, so I had control of the foods that I ate. Perfectionism. My mother is a perfectionist. So she would make comments like that. I don't remember exactly right now, but she would make comments like that about weight or whatever. That becomes a program. When you're a kid, you listen to that stuff, it becomes your program, and that's how you live. That's what you live from, that's what you come from, that's what you become. So again, for anybody that was just joining, this is the most important sentence is: the child grows up in the image and likeness of the dominant mental, emotional, and spiritual climate of your home. So every person that's listening to this, think about what was the dominant mental state of the home that you grew up in. Mine was verbal abuse, emotional abuse. What's the emotional climate? Again, emotional abuse, sadness, rage, anger, being out of control. And the spiritual climate of your home. I didn't have a spiritual climate in my home. There wasn't any talk about God, spirituality, or even religion. So I didn't have that. I went to an all-Catholic school my whole entire life and realized what a cult that was. That's another story. But again, it's a program. Religion is a program. Your religion isn't better than my religion. It's all a story, and it's all a program. I struggled with the same control and perfectionism. Yep, I still have that program too. I don't want my babies to struggle with my body image like I have. And exactly, how old are we that we still struggle with the self-image, the body image? I don't like the way that I look in this. I can't get fat. I'll never get old. That's me. In my mind, refuse to age. Refuse, which is probably why I manifested the patches that reverse your age. Refuse. My whole life, I was like, I'm never going to look old. I'm never going to look old. And I'll never be fat. I'll always be in shape. That's a program. But it was an obsession. That obsession became a program. Because how do we program the mind? Through repetition. I was yelled at, punched, cut, and told my dimples were a deformity. And now Benny has reprogrammed his subconscious mind. Benny willed himself to walk when he was in a wheelchair. Benny wakes up every day and lists, I think, is it 5, Ben, things that you're grateful for every day, or is it more? So we can do it. It takes hard work to reprogram the subconscious mind, but we are here to tackle those things. Do you want to live your whole life not having the things that you want because your programming is not allowing you to? It's impossible. If your energy or your frequency is that of doubt, is that of sadness, lack, the only thing you can get back is sadness, doubt, and lack. Because energy doesn't lie. So if you have a life or a lifestyle that you literally hate, you've created it through your subconscious programming. Therefore, that is the dominant energy that comes from you. So the only dominant energy that can be reflected back to you is exactly what you're putting out, is exactly what you're getting back. It's a reality that many people really like to face, because that means that it's essentially all our fault. And I'm not saying fault in the negative way. I'm saying it's our only way to change it is changing our subconscious programming. The programming that we were given from birth, through our parents, through our caretakers, through people in school, through kids, through sisters, brothers, whomever. 5 things I'm grateful for and 5 things I want, and I deeply feel the excitement they just came. That scribbling, that disharmony, that negativity has the ability to change our energetic frequency. And if it has the ability to change our energetic frequency, then you're giving someone so much power that you're allowing them to be able to alter your actual reality. Who is scribbling on your mind today? Even if someone did something shitty to you, are you going to allow yourself to carry that energy the rest of your day? That literally changes the trajectory of how your day goes. You know, when someone stubs their toe and they're just in such a bad mood, their foot hurts, and all of a sudden everything else just goes to shit that same day. Oh my God, it's like a dark cloud is following me. You're the dark cloud. You are the dark cloud. I am the dark cloud. When we don't allow someone the power to scribble in our mind, to alter our reality, that's when we know that we've changed. Because you're like, I know what you're trying to do, but it ain't happening today. Or if you know you're going to get on the phone with somebody, a parent, a sister, a brother, a friend, that's just going to complain the whole time and be negative, are you going to allow them to scribble on your mind with their negative shit? Or are you just going to have a conversation with them, hang up, go on with your day, and your frequency is not changed? It's like, you're not penetrating my energy today. It's not happening. We have the choice of whether we allow someone to scribble on our mind and then help us to co-create our reality because of their bullshit. I mean, is that what you want? Sometimes it happens so fast, or we're just in such a mode that before we know it, we're just like miserable, and we don't even realize that we're miserable until we've already been miserable for like 3 weeks or 5 months or 5 years or 10 years. How long are you going to allow someone to scribble on your mind? Does your mother-in-law, father-in-law, or some in-law scribble on your mind? Do they disturb you? Does someone tell you that you're going to fail? And do you reject it and say, you do not have a clue what you are talking about. I can't fail. How could I fail? The infinite is within me. I'll give you an example. Someone that I was talking to yesterday, she sent me a voice note and she said, yeah, people tell me that I just aim too high, and that the reason that I don't have a man in my life, or that I'm not married and have the things that I want, is because my standards are too high. Are those the kind of people that you want to listen to as a person that's going to minimize your universe? Do you want people in your life that are minimizing your infinite universe? Yes or no? I would like you guys to answer that. Do you want someone in your life that's minimizing your universe, saying you're not with somebody because your standards are too high? Just settle for some jerk off that's going to make you miserable for the rest of your life, but you could say that you have a husband or wife. How could I fail? The infinite is within me. Thank you for answering that. If we understand that the infinite is within us, which means there is no limitation to the things that we can have, we literally can create this beautiful scenario in our mind. And the only person that could tell us we can't have it is ourselves, or if we allow outside factors to program you with the idea, your standards are too high. And then you start to think, yeah, maybe I am just too picky. Yeah, maybe I, could just settle for a guy that will, or a girl that will just do X, Y, and Z, and, and just be like fine with that. The infinite is within me. I am born to win. I am a success in my prayer life, in my relationship with people, and in my chosen work. The minute that you affirm this, the power will respond to you. Again, the infinite is within me. I am born to win. I am a success in my prayer life, in my relationship with people, and in my chosen work. When you affirm this, the power, with a capital P, will respond to you. How could the infinite fail? Where is the infinite? Most of us think, when we think of the universe, wow, the universe. We look up and around. We look up at the clouds. We look up at the sky. We're taught the planets and this and that is the universe. The universe is in our subconscious mind. There is no end to that universe. But again, just as everything is inverted, we're taught that the universe is out there and it's not in here. We're taught that if I want to have a good life, I have to vote for this person to get into office. If I want to be healthy, I have to listen to what my doctor says. If I want to go to heaven, I have to go to church and do X, Y, and Z. Why are we never taught that everything that we need is in here, within us? Why? Because then that leaves the notion and the fact that, oh, I have the power. My life is the way it is because of me. If I'm constantly praying to something out there, if I'm constantly looking for all the things out here, I will never fucking find it in here. And as long as we're staying away from ourselves, as long as the power is not within us, we will always be disempowered and will always be controlled, manipulated, and programmed with exactly what the people out there want us to be programmed with. So unless you program yourself because you are that powerful to do that, someone else is always your fucking commander-in-chief. And it ain't you. How could the infinite fail when the infinite is within you? If the infinite is failing, it's because you don't believe you're powerful enough to be infinite, to have all the things that you want. We're born to win, to overcome, and to triumph. You are here to go from glory to glory, from octave to octave, for there is no end to the glory which is man. There is no end to the glory. The only end of the glory is when you believe that you don't have anything or any way to change it. That's when your glory ends. That's when the manifestation ends, is when you don't believe that you're powerful enough to do anything. Or when you're giving your power away, when you're allowing someone to scribble on your mind every day. My boss talks down to me. My significant other never tells me that he loves me or she loves me or that I'm great or that I'm so stupid. Who are you allowing to scribble on your mind today? Because again, if you're allowing someone to scribble on your mind, you're allowing them to change your frequency. You're allowing them to change your frequency, then you're allowing them to literally shape your reality within you. It's just signaling your body with light. And that light is just telling things within you to start activating again, right? So when I finally realized I don't need a doctor to tell me how to take care of myself. And if I feel that I do, it's because I've given my power away to these exterior gods for so long because my programming told me this is what I should do. The power has never been within me. It's been in all these other people that know better than what I know for myself. So many people go against their judgment and intuition by what a doctor tells them, and they're like, I don't feel right about this, but they do it anyway because they feel that someone else knows better than what they do. Anytime anything goes on with my dog, he has 3 vets, an energy healer, and an NAET healer who's in California. 2 of them are holistic vets. 1 of them is a traditional vet that has to do x-rays, whatever else. Never do I take their word, even though they are experts in their field. They've been doing the holistic practitioners for a long time. I don't listen to anybody what they say. This book is like a Bible for animals. I read that. I research until I can't research anymore. Because no one knows my pet, no one knows myself better than I do. I could have listened to what a specialist said for my dog. And that could have been the end of him because of what they were prescribing for him. And all the other doctors told me, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. And I was like, no, I'm not. I won't do it. So we have to remember that we hold the power for ourselves. We have the glory. We have the ability to overcome anything. The infinite is within us. The infinite intelligence, the infinite amount of love, the infinite amount of happiness, the infinite amount of joy is in us. In the same respect, there is an infinite amount of hate, anger, sadness, hopelessness that also lives within us. We have access to anything. It's like a treasure chest. It's like Mary Poppins' bag. She pulls lamps and shit out of her bag. It's endless, whatever she has in her bag. We could pull whatever we want out of our bag of consciousness. What are you choosing to pull out every single day? Or are you allowing someone else to pull shit out of your bag? You should be angry. Oh my God, didn't you tell this person off? Like, why would you even still talk to this person? You're allowing people to program your mind with their beliefs, with their things that they want to see happen. So if we're all Mary Poppins, which we are, we can pull anything out of the bag of consciousness. Are you pulling more hate, more anger, more rage out? Or are you like, you know what? I'm going to be loving today. I'm going to go for a walk today because I know this is going to be good for me. What are we pulling out of the Mary Poppins bag of life? Is the columnist writing something in your mind? Or are you writing the truths of God, which are the same yesterday, today, and forever? What are you writing in your mind every day? What are you writing in your mind every day? How unhappy you are, how my life sucks. Every day is the same. I'm so miserable. Energy matches energy. So if you have that energy every day, the universe can only match that energy and give you more things to be miserable, sad, angry, and pissed off about. Some people write grief, despair, hopelessness, loneliness, etc. Inscribe the conviction that you are worthy, that you are adequate, that you are full of faith and confidence in the only power there is, and that you know you are inspired from the high or from the most high. And that you believe implicitly that God is guiding you in all your ways and is a lamp unto your feet and a light upon your path. Your subconscious mind, which is the book of life, will receive these impressions, viewpoints, opinions, and convictions because you are sincere and because you mean them. Whatever you think, feel, and believe to be true, your subconscious mind will bring to pass, whether it's good or bad. It does not care. It doesn't judge you. Your subconscious mind doesn't say, you know, you really shouldn't think that today because I'm just going to bring it into your reality. Your subconscious mind doesn't give a shit what you think. It just brings you the matching energy of what you're thinking and feeling. That's it. I will repost. Share it with somebody who could benefit from changing their subconscious mind and making their life exactly what they want. I love you all. See you on Monday. I have a wedding tonight, so I'll be getting dressed up. I'm wearing green velvet. I'll post pics. I love you guys, and rewatch this because everybody needs a kick in their ass about their subconscious mind and to stop thinking that the powers that be are outside of you. They ain't. They're in here. Love you guys. Thank you for listening, and I believe and hope that it was helpful. X39 on its way. VJ, text me and let me know how it is when you get it.